Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the top teams for the Open Great League. The Great League is going to be back for actually 2 weeks, so it's going to be a very important one. And yeah, today we're going to take a look at some teams that already been proven last season or this season. The meta didn't change as crazy, so a lot of the teams that you've played already before and you think they're great, they still should be very solid. But yeah, today we're going to take a look at a mixture of top teams from PvPoke, top teams from other content creators, and top teams from me as a content creator. So hopefully, if you enjoy this type of videos, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like on them, would really help me out, and we can move on to the first team here today. Which is going to be a team that I actually already showcased on my channel as well, but I think like 2 seasons ago, but it's still very strong, and it is so strong that I actually got a #1 spot on the PvPoke ranking list for teams, top team here of Malamar. The, not really say swap, but I guess say swap of Diggersby as well as the Toxa packs in the back. Main idea behind this team is, you kinda want to keep alignment. What this means is, even if you go shields down in the lead, if you cannot keep the alignment, this is basically your win con, because Diggersby and Toxapex, which you're gonna see here as well on paper, basically cover each other's weaknesses perfectly. And the cool thing about the Malamar in the lead is that you're going to be able to have a lot of play against nearly every single Pokemon and have certain win cons, so that makes this Pokemon very strong and very ideal for this type of team. There are some weaknesses maybe for this team, for example, a lead of something like a Jumpluff or like a Zazumroll can be a bit tricky, or like, I mean, Gustle is kind of okay actually still for us. So like there are a few Pokemon that can be a bit tricky for this strategy, but generally speaking, this is one of the best teams that you can run currently. I tried stuff like this out myself before as well. It is very, an annoying strategy basically, because it is really around like if you lose the alignment in the beginning, you nearly lose most of the games because you have such hard matchups with Diggersby and Toxapex bulk, that it is very difficult to counter this team if you lose a lead, and that's of course something in a blind format that you cannot really control as much, and so yeah, this is a very strong team. Team number 2 I stole as well here from Jonkus, so thanks for this. We're going to have another team with Malamar in the lead. We have Zapdos as a Shadow variant and the Alone Sandslash in the back, and I feel like that's kind of cool because Alone Sandslash and Zapdos both got buffs this season, and especially Zapdos is a cool Pokemon where I can tell you already there's going to be a video coming up towards Zapdos as well with a different team, so stay tuned for that. But I feel like it's going to be also a very interesting team to have also the core of Malamar and Sandslash. I think that's a great core together, and there's a lot of play between them. Zapdos is the say swap here, and they said as well here for this team that you have a lot of play against also the hard answers for this one, because if you take a look at the Pokemon that are actually the hard answers for it, there I can only really see one Pokemon where you don't have anything against, which is the normal Unova and Stunfisk, and that's basically it. And the rest you still have play with the Zapdos, especially energy up. Shadow Zapdos is a monster, like this thing completely destroys entire teams, and so I feel like this Pokemon, or like this team here, is going to be one that you can try out for sure as well. Moving on to a team here as well from, I think actually not a content creator here, but one of the best players, especially if it comes to the play Pokemon tournaments from Andros here. We're going to have a team that, been played also a little bit differently before with like the Dunsparce in the back, but they used the Annihilate and the Gliscor as well as the Bibarel. For Gliscor, there's going to be a different team as well later on, which I already showcased on my channel as well, which I liked a lot, which I'm going to have on the list here as well. Where the moveset is a bit different for Gliscor. Here we just went for the standard moveset on all of the Pokemon. You can use Shadow variants, you can use normal variants. This team is definitely looking like a lot of fun and should be very strong as well. And again, if you want to, have a little bit more bulk in the back, you have the Dunsparce as an option as well. So there's a lot that you can kind of change for this team, and I do think it's a great team to run. I do think actually Annihilate is a little bit better than Dunsparce in my own opinion there as well. Main reason for this, Annihilate has just a better matchup against the Primeape. Primeape can be a bit of a trickier one as soon as your lead goes down, and Primeape is a very common Pokemon, which you're most likely gonna see maybe also in today's video, but also I planned already a lot of teams I want to use for the next week, and there were a lot of those with Primeape, so yeah, you don't see the list, but you're gonna see the videos, so stay tuned for that. I actually didn't know that the next one has Primeape in. But yeah, we're going to have here a team from, like 2 teams basically from the Tactical. Those teams were played at the end of the last season. They were not from this season, but he got up to 3,500 MMR with his team here. We're going to have 2 different ones, either Skarmory, Primeape Gastrodon, or the Mandibuzz, Primeape, and the Galarian Corsola in the back. Both of them going to be totally fine. You can also use, for example, the Mandibuzz together with the Gastrodon, or the Skarmory together with the Corsola. So both of those are going to be totally fine, as you can see already. Skarmory is one of the most underrated Pokemon currently. Like, truth be told, this Pokemon still has a lot of play and people just don't really expect it. And yeah, maybe I'm gonna make a video towards this Pokemon as well again. But yeah, Scummy, for sure, if you still have one, try it out. I think it is a great Pokemon to use. I actually do like the team with Gastron a little bit more than the team with the, with the Corsair in the back. So I feel like this is going to be the better team of those two, but both of them are going to be totally fine. The next team here. Sorry, I kicked a bin. Anyway, the next team here is going to be a team that is also on PvPoke and also in the top list at the number 2 spot. And I really am interested in trying this team out. It is the most spiciest team that I've seen on there, and I wonder if it's actually going to be a good one. We're going to have Morpeko, Feraligatr, and Ferrothorn, and I'm fairly certain it's kind of similar to what we had in the first team already, that you kind of want to keep alignment with the elite and then have kind of a hardcore matchup there in terms of destroying the opponent with a backline. Issue for this team here, though, is what do you do against Fighting-type Pokemon? I'm not too sure. But the thing is here, I am just curious on how this team is going to function, and so I'm most likely going to give this team a try eventually as well. And maybe you see it tomorrow on the channel, who knows, but this is definitely an interesting one because it's got up to number 2 spot on PvPoke with the updated teams for the season. It's kind of mad, it's kind of mad that this team is like that high up. It's not that mad that this team is very high up. This is a combination between a team that got to rank 1 in the world last week, last season of course, just generally some teams that have been really performing well for me as well. I made a video, for example, with the exact same team here with Jumpluff, Bibarel, and the Gastron with the Purified Bibarel though, which was really important as well. Return gave you a lot of very good matchups. But also, there have been, again, like similar teams with like the Dunsparce as a Saisob, and the Annihilate in the back, for example, which hit like rank 1 in the world last season. And so like there are a lot of different kind of options on how you want to play this team here. It's a good team for sure. I would recommend you to give it a try. I gave a try to both of the variants of it, and both of them were fantastic. So like definitely a team I can recommend you to try out. And here we are now at team number 7. This is going to be a team that I tried out before as well and enjoyed. Like I honestly, Corsair, Primeape, Pangoro was for me one of the funnest teams that I played so far. Yes, there are some Pokemon that can be a bit tricky, but like this team was so much fun because you have that insane bulk in the lead, which still has a lot of offensive coverage. You have Power Gym as a great defense, as a coverage move here for the Fighting type Pokemon that you have in the backup because of their, of course, being weak to flying types, and you're going to be able to hit them with that. And you have, of course, a big weakness against all of those ghost types, which you can still hit neutral, but also, of course, against those dark type Pokemon in the lead. And then you have 2 Pokemon in the back that can counter those perfectly. And this thing is here as well. Primeape as a Saisob is amazing, but Pangoro is having basically a perfect call with the Corsair, which is so cool. I love this score. I love that Pangoro has some play here, and its team is amazing. I love it. If you want a little bit more bulk, Azumarill is your friend, and yeah, this is definitely a very strong team to run for the 2 weeks of the Open Great League. Again, if you enjoyed this video so far, I would really appreciate it if you could also subscribe to the channel. Only like, I know, half of the people that are watching this video are actually subscribed, so you're around 50%. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it. It is free and it helps me out a lot, and those videos are a lot of times quite a bit of work. As you see here as well, we have a Guy score again, and this time around it's not the right moveset, and I hit the bin again. It's going to be the Night Slash variant of this one, because yeah, Night Slash is going to allow you to have a little bit of a better pacing. You're gonna get to this move one fast move earlier compared to the Aerial Ace, and this gives you some interesting interactions. While yes, in like certain matchups, for example against Pokemon like Carbink, you know, don't have anything to do with your charge moves, which our backline is really good against, so I don't think we need actually the ground type coverage here on this team. You are kinda gonna have some nice interactions with like Pokemon that need 10 turns to get to their charge move, which there are quite a lot of them, I feel like. For example, for Feraligatr, you're going to be able to outspeed them to get some damage off them, and don't have to go for the CMP tie, which you're going to lose. And this is something that's really important, which I like about Night Slash. Night Slash is here mainly for the pacing. Not really for the damage, just for the pacing, and then you can still, basically, if you go for one Night Slash, you're going to be able to outspeed the opponent's Feraligatr every single time with your Aerial Ace and afterwards, and you do a little bit more damage with that one, because you have like that one turn that you saved by going for the Night Slash instead. And so I really feel like this is a very interesting moveset. I made a video about this already, take a look at this one. RGC was amazing in that video as well, so yeah, give it a try. Very cool team, and we can move on to team number 9. Team number 9 is going to be one that we had as well already last season, and I like this one quite a bit, but I just like Talonflame. Talonflame is one of my favorite Pokemon to use in the Go Battle League. To be fair, I like the Incinerate and Flame Charge set a little bit more, but I feel like in Lead, Brave Bird and Fly makes a lot of sense. This gives you some great coverage and gives you basically the guessing game for the opponent to know, is it a Brave Bird, is it a Fly, what do you have to shield here? But it just gives you better coverage against Pokemon like the Clodsire. Clodsire can be a bit of an issue for this team. If you don't want to have Clodsire as an issue, you go for Dunsparce as a save swap instead of Morpeko. But Morpeko is such a great save swap for this team, which I tried out on the channel as well already. Morpeko is just able to kind of flip matchups that he shouldn't really flip based on the coverage that you have on the chart was with 3 different typings, which is so unique. And so, like, I really enjoy this team. Like, it's a really, really good one. Superior in the back is so strong currently. Like, Superior is S tier for sure for the Open Great League. I will have also a ranking coming up as well the next week, most likely, for the Great League and Ultra League, and maybe do the Master League as well. I have to see about this. But yeah, this is going to be team number 9, and we're going to move on to team number 10 now. Final team is something that I kind of want to talk a little bit about as well. It's just the core of Azumarill and the Lone Sandslash. I feel like is kind of underused currently, and I think it has a lot of potential. Basically, a Lone Sandslash doesn't really look that great on paper, but I feel like it has a lot of potential, especially in the 2-shield scenario, especially if you're going to take a look at the matchups that you currently lose. For example, the Clodsire, you're going to be able to win in the 2-shield scenario quite easily. Same goes for Diggersby, you should be able to win this one. Against Azumarill, you'll usually be able to resist all the hits, which allows you to do some solid damage against them still as well. And you just have a lot of neutral play. But then again, you have Drifblim as a great Pokemon to have as a save-swap for this team, allowing you to have Ice-type coverage still on this Pokemon, while having great neutral play against a lot of the Pokemon that you're gonna face. Even for Relicgator, doesn't really enjoy the Drifblim in the 2-shield scenario thanks to the insane damage of Astonish. And so you're going to have some great coverage there, and in the back we're going to have the Azumarill or the Garchomp here as well. And this team looks like a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a great one for you to use. Let me know down below, what team is your favorite team out of this list? What team are you going to use for the upcoming 2 weeks of the Open Great League? I wish you all a Merry Christmas, which is going to be very, very soon, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.